Hey everybody, this is Kaous Games. I know I've been gone a while, but I had to say something about Final Fantasy 15 or versus 13. It's been 10 years, been waiting for 10 years for this game, and I beat the main storyline. I'm still working through side quests, but wanted to give my thoughts on the game as a 10 years in the making. Now, first question is, did it live up to the hype? In many ways, I gotta say it did. But in some other ways and disappointing ways, it didn't. I'll start with the good. First off, I want to say they built a world in this game. This detailed, plush, graphical, superiority to anything I've seen. It's absolutely amazing and it's expansive. Tons to see, tons to do. Couldn't ask for more unique features. The gameplay to me is fun. I know a lot of people were kind of butthurt about the lack of turn-based battle, but I for one like the combat system, almost hack and slashes, kind of like any given hack and slash game, I guess, with less, the finesse aspect and less combo based, though. I mean, there's not really much in the way of combos, but it does take some strategy and skill to do well in battle in this game, because you only control Noctis. But still, you have to spec right. You have to do different things. So I like the system. So to me, any of these critics give this game less than a 9 out of 10, they are absolutely tripping. With that said, the reason I couldn't score a perfect game, the reason why it didn't take my top spot as the greatest game of all time, which right now is held by Witcher 3, and I was hoping that this would, because I had 10 years worth of bias on the back of this game, is the fact that the story in the game is shoddily and poorly written. It's disjointed as hell, and I just couldn't reconcile that, man. I found myself playing the game, and I'm surprised at this too, because I watched Kingsglaive and was amazed by the setup, the story, the way the story was told. And I was just absolutely blown away by that. And going into Final Fantasy 15, I'm thinking, writing on this story is going to be stellar. Everything about this game is going to be stellar. But really, what I actually got, I didn't notice it at first, because I'm thinking to myself, since I saw Kingsglaive, since I saw the Brotherhood anime episodes, I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe they're just trying to, infuse different types of media into this experience. And you have to take in those types of media to really get the full experience. And so I ignored the glossing over in the very first, segments of the game. Because I'm thinking, okay, this is still in territory where you really have to watch Kingsglaive to understand how it's gotten to this point. Okay, so I gave it a pass, but as the game went on, I kept finding myself going, wait a minute, what? Wait, expand on that? It's like something serious just happened here, and you just glossed over it like it's nothing. Just totally ignored it. There's a point, this isn't a big, they do this on bigger stuff in the game, but it's minor spoiler, I'm not going to say who it is, but at one point, one of the members of the retinue, the royal retinue, goes off and does his own thing. So he has to go and figure some stuff out or do a walkabout or something like that. And they're just like, okay, cool, sure, whatever. He goes off. You don't know what he does. It's never explained. He just comes back all scarred up and stuff. And you're like, oh, what happened to you? Oh, you should see the guy. Let's go. That's literally what happened. And they never explain anything. Okay, maybe Noctis and them shouldn't know what happened as the characters in the game. Maybe they had no business know that. But as a player, I want to know what happened there. Expand on this. And then, that's just a small example. But they do that on heavy stuff, too. It wouldn't be so bad if that was just a small segment. But this game, to me, is like, the best analogy I have to describe the story in this game is that imagine you're a person walking down the stairs, and you're just like, oh shit, and you just start falling. That's what this game is. Story-wise. They rushed the hell out of the story. I can't believe this. Seeing the other pieces of media that they had on this game, Kingsglaive was stellar, story-wise. They just rushed through it. There's a chunk of time they never explained anything about. So, all I can say is disappointed. I'm so disappointed in this game. I wanted it to be perfect, and they fell short in one of the most critical ways that you can come short. That's the last thing you would expect from a Final Fantasy game, because usually the story is pretty engaging and well put together. Arguments can be made on some of the more recent entries like 13, even though I thought the story was okay, but that's another story. They just rushed through it. I don't know. You have to play it for yourself. Maybe, a lot of people out there who will have a hard time believing me. If you want to go, I would say the game's still worth picking up from all the other elements. Because like I said, you haven't seen anything like this game. It's still a marvel. It's just it falls apart in one of the most critical ways to me that a Final Fantasy shouldn't fall apart. And that's story. 6 had a stellar story, 7 had a stellar story, and so on and so forth, up until about 13. Type 0 story was rushed like this too. I think that the people who were on Type 0 story probably were on this too. And that's probably why the story is so disjointed. I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that. But if you're going to pick up Final Fantasy 15, if you anything like me, there was no question about it, and you haven't done it yet, just be prepared for that. It is quite disappointing. You'll still enjoy the game a lot, but that niggling little hole right there is gonna pick at you. I can almost guarantee it, because if you're a fan of Final Fantasy like me, you're a fan for a reason, and they fall pretty short on a key element of what makes a Final Fantasy game great, truly great. So, truly am disappointed. It's hard. It's very hard for me to even sit here and say that about it, 'cause I've been waiting with such anticipation for this game for so long that now I got my actual hands on it, I beat it, I'm just underwhelmed. It really is a disappointment to me. But like I said, still deserves no less than a 9 out of 10 just based off the other stuff. It's a visual marvel. The gameplay is stellar. Just side quests, lots to do, lots to see. Very unique features. I've shat on the story, but one thing I can say is even though they gloss over a lot of details, you're never lost. You understand what the mission is, what he's trying to achieve ultimately, and they kind of coast along that. It's just the details are missing along the way in several key areas that you probably wanted to see. You just have to be prepared for that. Just have to be prepared for that. I like the ending, though. That was a touching ending, and I just wish they would have connected harder on many more occurrences in this game. There's antagonists in this game who you think are going to be important and be a big problem. Nope, they barely use them. Oh, he's going to be a problem. Oh, nope, barely use. Oh. Where happened to him? What happened to them? It's just that kind of stuff in this game. You have to expect it. But, like I said, you'll find out when you pick it up yourself. I wish I was exaggerating. I wish I was being dramatic, but I'm not. I'm really not. So, anyway, till next time, this is Kaous, Kaous Games. Gamers Game On.